Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome into Peggle Extreme. If you don't know about this game or have never played it or have never watched anybody play it, you are in for an absolute treat. This is such a fun experience. And yes, my name is Satan Herself, or Satan Isn't Herself on Twitch, and I am here with my lovely commentator.
Hello, yeah, I'm PoetryStud. I do a lot of Peggle stuff just like Satan does. And I'll just be along for the ride, helping to add some context and help out when Satan is busy doing some of the insane strats you're about to see.
Yeah, exactly. And this category is called Extreme Grandmaster, but don't let that fool you. This is actually the 100% category of the game. So you're going to be seeing me complete the entirety of Peggle Extreme today. We are going to go ahead and make a fresh file because of that, and we're going to make it the DRDQ file name. And what's up with Bjorn there, Poetry? What's wrong with him?
So real quick before we hop in, Peggle Extreme is a spin-off crossover game done with Valve. So it's not your average Peggle game. It is a very, very strange game, and we'll kind of talk a little bit more about that as I think we're going along too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And just for clarity's sake, before I hop in, 100% means we're going to not only be going through the adventure mode, but we're also going to be fully clearing all the levels. So that means we're going to clear out every single peg in every level and also do the additional challenges that we are not able to complete in the any percent mode. So yeah, if you saw the SGDQ 2023 Peggle Deluxe run, there was an incentive to fully clear the level at the end. This is going to be like that times a trillion. All right. And timer is going to start when I click adventure. So would you like to give me a countdown, Poetry?
Yep, I can do a countdown. Sure thing. So I'll go from 5 and then on go. So here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And we're off. So I guess as Satan is starting, we'll both be hopping in with a lot of different information, and definitely don't want to overload people who may not have seen Peggle before, but the game is fairly simple overall. At its core, you basically just want to clear the pegs from the screen, and the orange ones are the ones that let you beat the level. But because, as Satan was saying, this is a 100% category, we have to actually clear all of the pegs here, and that is what Satan is going for.
Yep, including the blues, and the game will advance you when you hit your final orange on the screen. So what we're really going to want to be doing for a lot of this run is just avoiding at least one orange on the screen until the very end, and then we hit it when we're ready to finish. There's also a special property in this particular level that doesn't really show up in other ones, so...
Yeah, well, so there are a few things that we're going to see pop up throughout the run, as in like new things are going to be added. Right now, we just have the blue and orange pegs, and that is it. Oh, nice shot there. And we're going to start seeing in a couple levels green pegs that allow Bjorn the unicorn to use his super guide power. And we're also going to be seeing a purple peg starting on the 4th level that gives a point boost. And that is kind of an important thing, actually, because there are a couple of challenges that use score. Although, actually, ironically, none of the ones that have the score challenges, none of them will have the purple peg for them.
Yeah, this is one of them, and this is the tough one. Yeah, so I'm kind of focusing up. Continue.
Yeah, and so this level is actually the first level of the score challenge levels that we have, because again, we have to complete for this 100% category. Satan has to complete all of the challenges. There's only 5 challenges, luckily, and the good thing is that they can also be done during the any percent part of the run. We have to for the category, if you run the category, you have to start from a new save file. You have to go through any percent, and then you can get to the challenges. But luckily, some of the challenges can be completed alongside the any percent part of the run. So on this level, it is 300,000 points needed to get the challenge associated with this level. And so that is why you see Satan is taking her time here to very meticulously and carefully line up these free ball shots to build up some points. And in a moment, hopefully if this combo goes well, we will see soon. Let's see. I think there's one more needed.
Yep.
Let's see.
Let's go.
Beautiful. And so that we saw
that's
there.
pretty huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, lucky
If you
nuts.
saw there, it said crazy mad skills when she got that, because basically if you get 10 free ball skills in a row, 10 shots in a row from a peg directly into the bucket, then you get what's called crazy mad skills, which is 100,000 points. And since we only need 300,000 on this level, then that means that Satan is already basically good on points. It is impossible that she doesn't get at this point. Of course, she still needs a full clear.
Complete the full clear.
Yeah, the full clear still needs to be done, and it's not the easiest level even at this point, but it's looking fairly good right now.
Also, if you full clear a level, you are guaranteed at least 100,000 points from the end of the level, which is called the fever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are hard. These are hard.
Yeah, I will also say that some people have noticed that Heavy from Team Fortress 2 showed up, and yeah, so again, he in place of Jimmy, like normally in Peggle, Jimmy Lightning is the character's name, pops up and says tubular or some other 2000s era kind of pump up word. And in this game, being a Valve crossover, that was good. That was good.
That's one of the real sticky points in the level. So or in the run. So very happy to have that done with.
Yeah, that level is very tough, and
this is the other one with the score challenge, by the way, which this first shot really, really helps us with. I'm doing that, by the way, with a strat you can absolutely do at home. Poetry, if you want to explain tap strats.
Yeah, so one thing that is very helpful, especially when you need to kind of get a lot of points or very specific things on levels, is what the community calls tap strats. It's one of various types of strategies that the Peggle community has. And basically, there's a way to normalize shots by shooting at the left or right edge of the screen. And then if you use the right or left arrow key to tap in the opposite direction, so normalizing left and tapping right or vice versa, you can get replicable shots. And in some cases, like in this level, they are absolutely insane with how many points they give you. Satan got, I was looking, and it was about 157,000 points from the very first shot. And Satan needs 300.
Almost half of what we need. So
exactly,
that's already a huge boost, much better than the previous level where we really had to make up our points from that combo that Poetry was talking about, from getting those points from pegs, freeballing them.
Yep.
Here I have to be careful because there's only one orange left, and it's at the very bottom there. So
yes, yeah.
Luckily, I basically have my points, so all I need to do is really avoid that and get a couple more free balls.
And I will say that if on any of these levels, if Satan does accidentally clear the level normally without full clearing it first, then it's not really a big deal. It just means that we have to come back to it a little later in the run when we do cleanup. So that's a pretty normal thing to happen too, because, and this is actually important to point out, the levels, while the pegs themselves and the bricks are in the same place every time, which ones are blue versus orange versus green is always different every time you play the game. So you can't solve a level, at least, you can solve a level in the sense that you solve shots to clear the whole thing, but that's not normally very feasible, or
especially
very quick.
Because you hit that orange too quickly. You don't want to do
exactly,
that.
Yeah, sometimes
Probably.
if you were to just try to solve, that was
fine. Everything's normal.
that was a little scary there.
Everything's normal. Also, what's happening to Jimmy?
This background is definitely one of the more wild ones.
Hello, Jimmy. Do you need help? Do you need some assistance? Jimmy Lightning, of course, being the radical hamster who is being set on fire right now by this TF2 character. Sorry, I don't play TF2. I don't know the stuff. You can correct me in chat.
Which makes sense.
So. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a bunch of pixel shots in this level, by the way. So unlike tap strats, which just work by aiming on the left or right side of the screen, and then you'll always get those normalized shots, pixel shots work the same way, except for it's literally a single pixel on the screen. Peggle is old enough that you can aim at specific pixels to do specific shots. Thank you, 2007. Very cool.
2007 PC moment, PC gaming moment, yeah.
And while I'm kind of clearing this out, if Kyle has anything that he wants to say, this would be a good time, I think.
Okay, I have things I want to say, but I'm apprehensive. I have $10 from Anonymous Esquire, who says, "Come on, Kyle. Everybody knows Peggle is pronounced with a soft G, just like GIF." Oh, no.
Everybody knows that.
Oh, everybody knows that. A quick update, by the way. We are at $326 and change for that Boss Song showcase. We're pumping up Phoenix.
Please,
get those
y'all
donations
get
in.
this. Zello
Absolutely.
is so good at this game. I have watched some of these VODs. That's my runner's choice, by the way. If you donate towards runner's choice, I absolutely want to see that happen. Please get that done.
There you go. Make it easy on yourself. If you don't want to click that incentive, just say runner's choice and it'll get made for you.
Absolutely. Also, Satan commands you.
Yeah, we always make jokes about how we have the power of Satan on our side in the Peggle Discord and the Peggle community as a whole. Yeah, I suppose you were talking about pixel shots. Is there anything else with that, Satan, that you want to mention?
Yeah, I mean, I think that pixel shots are really cool just because, like, for top shots, you can only aim at the left or right side of the screen, right? And then you kind of get what you get. You can add taps to that to sort of make the shot a little bit more precise. But for the most part, there's not a ton of options. But when you factor in pixels, you can kind of aim anywhere. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. At this point, I can kind of... So talking a little bit more about where we're at in the run, there are only 10 levels in this game, which I think we may have mentioned that already, but it is a shorter Peggle game in that Peggle Deluxe, the first game in the series, was 55 levels with a bunch of challenges. This game is only 10 levels with 5 challenges, which is why it is, I think, personally, at least I think it's a great kind of showcase of just like the different play styles of Peggle, where you have to be thinking about points and challenges, but it's also still fairly quick and accessible too.
Yeah, talk about accessible. This game is literally free. It always has been. You can just download it off the internet. Go play this game right now.
Yeah.
Actually, if you don't want to, but like you can.
Yeah, it's a great starting point if you want to like speedrun Peggle, or you just think it'd be interesting to try.
Also, you can see Bjorn with a Gatling gun. Who doesn't want to do that?
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it was interestingly, it was originally, I believe, part of the Orange Box, but it was like a promotional thing that they also included with the Orange Box.
Yes,
it's very interesting, which is hence all the Valve crossover stuff. That's the whole point.
I'm about to do a multiplier thing. Oof, didn't quite get it. That's quite okay. Work out. I'll go for 3 balls. If we fail, we get to hear Heavy saying, "Oh no," which is hilarious.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, one more free ball to go.
Content?
Nope, not throwing for content, succeeding for content. Ultra extreme fever.
Succeed for content.
And there we go. And we're about to be on to the second set here of the 10 levels. 2 sets of 5 for these 10 levels.
Also, there is technically sort of a skip or glitch we've been using this whole time.
Yeah.
It's called text skip. Yeah, while I focus on getting this pixel.
Yeah, so it's funny because you wouldn't think Peggle is a game that has skips. And it's not really a skip in the sense that you can't really skip any levels, at least not in this type of run. But there is some really obscure tech that was discovered kind of accidentally, which is that after each level, there is a little dialogue box that shows up. And at the start of each level, there's also a dialogue box that shows up. And if you, for whatever reason, if you click left and right click together, like you double click on the continue button at the end of a level, then it won't show the text box on the following level. It's very strange, very random, but that does save a little bit of menuing time. Over the course of the run, it might be just a few seconds, but hey, you got to take time save where you have it. So
exactly. It also technically counts as a reset, which matters a little bit more in Peggle Deluxe, but there's a mechanic called Microzen where the game kind of makes things easier for you in secret at the beginning of the game, and it strengthens with resets, so we kind of found out that it does do something.
Yeah, it is a secondary benefit as well, which is interesting. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, counting as a reset basically means that the sort of hidden boost and a little bit of aim assist that the game gives you kicks in sooner. In a kind of overall sense, so you're going to have it more often. Funnily enough, though, that same boost can sometimes be a bit of a hindrance too. Ooh, nice shot there! Wow.
And that saves a lot of time because I didn't have to free ball there. I'm also going to aim my final shot directly into one of the fever buckets, so that's a way to save a little bit of time throughout the run as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things like that at its core, you basically just play the game, but there's a lot of things you can do to just optimize your time, right? You aim for shots where the bounces will spend as little airtime as possible so that you get through them quicker and get to the next shot. Finding ways to aim directly into the bucket at the end of a level so that you're not spending time in fever. As much as fun as it is to look at, the game saying extreme fever, it does lose time, so.
Exactly.
Okay. And this level is quite iconic. The boom level, I think, is pretty much what we just all call it. I don't even know the level's real name.
I have no idea.
I think it might just be boom.
Yeah. It's iconic, but also somewhat of a pain because this really bright background sort of gets in the way of our little aiming line. So it makes it sort of hard to see where you're going, so to speak.
Yep. And at this point, I guess I can also kind of say, so we have, in terms of like what we have left to do in the run, well, luckily, so Satan was able to do both of our points challenges that can be completed during the run. Satan was able to do both of those. It was the second and third levels of the game. The first level of the game has a challenge associated with it to full clear it. And well, we did that already as well. Satan did that already as well. And so we actually only have 2 challenges left that we haven't done just by doing the any % part of the run. And unfortunately, those 2 can't be done simultaneously. So we're going to have to do at least those 2 outside of this, and we'll talk about those more when we get there. Okay.
Here I'm being a little safe.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the most balls left in the world. So I'm just sort of scrolling my scroll wheel there so that I would move just one little increment at a time. And actually, a fun fact is that Bjorn changes the distance that is, his power. And so that means that for those normal tap strats, sometimes they actually aren't going to work the same way when you have Bjorn. So you kind of have to think about that when you build strats for this game.
Okay, right, now this level's
here we're fine.
Pretty much done.
Crazy mad skills for the fun of it. Why not? Yeah. Sector clear. Okay. Welcome to the portal section of the run.
And what's fun is that even before this crossover game came out, Peggle Deluxe had some levels that featured portals as a mechanic. And so, of course, all the levels in this part, all the last 3 levels that are portal inspired have portals, which add a whole nother layer to the game. And generally, they make it a little trickier, if anything, but definitely more dynamic and interesting. And look at that beautiful shot there. That is another one of the
pixel shots there. Yep,
exactly.
That's set up. Here I'm going to do something called aiming high, because I think it'll work pretty well. Which is kind of just the general strategy and general principle that if you aim higher at stuff, then you're going to get more things from one shot.
Yep. There's a lot of just overarching strategies and approaches to how you play the game that can really help out. This level is definitely, I would say personally, at least I find it to be one of the tougher ones to full clear. Luckily, Satan has already cleared out a lot of the hard ones on that right side. That girder at the top right, that steel beam or whatever, is blocking off a lot of stuff. But luckily, we're pretty much clear of all the stuff that would have been blocked off.
Yep, absolutely. And so now we're just doing a little bit of free balling, and then we're going to have to be a little bit creative on some of these because this sort of circle thing in the center is going to limit some of our shot options. So we're going to have to be a little bit careful and creative for some of our last shots. But that's why I've been saving this green. Hopefully.
Yes, I was just gonna mention that, is that Satan does still have the green, and she can use that when needed to kind of help out with some of these nastier ones. Ooh, okay.
That's okay.
Wow, that
We're
actually worked out.
We're fine. Everything's fine.
And also got
Very
the wall back
nice.
there. And so, yeah, now it's pretty much done unless something goes catastrophically wrong. Oh.
Yeah. I don't think it will. I think we're good.
Yeah.
So all you really need to do is do some of these combos.
And now it is completely done.
Missed the cool clear. Sad.
Yeah.
That's okay.
The next level I know is a really cool one. And
Yeah, this one we have a pixel shot sequence that essentially solves the level. So watch me play it, I guess.
Yeah, it is funny. Earlier I was saying there aren't really that many like solved levels. This is pretty much one that is, you only just have to do a little bit of cleanup at the end. But yeah, it's essentially divided into these 3 segments by that like brick wall or whatever on each side of the middle. And so, and there's the portals connecting each part. And as a result, it's kind of easy to, or it took some work, but runners have basically found shots that clear just so much of it that it becomes just trivial.
And we're, of course, using this sort of bright part on the peg here, if you notice where I'm aiming. That's called a glint shot. And glints are some of the easiest things to aim at in the game. So we make a lot of our pixel shots using these sort of glint things.
Yeah, we use specific pegs, glints, to then hit a bunch of other pegs. And yeah. And so now there are, let's see how many, 6 pegs left, and we have 7 balls left, and we still even have, Satan still has some super guide power left, and so this is going to be pretty much a piece of cake for this level. So luckily, nothing too crazy there.
Very nice.
Okay.
Yeah, no Buren required on that shot, I suppose. And we're done. Once again. Thank you, GLaDOS. Yeah, it's too bad we can't hear their full voice lines, but you can if you play this game. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. As Satan is getting to the last level of the any percent part of the run, this level is another one that has these interesting portal layouts. And Satan is also doing some different, very specific shots here.
Yeah, that one was a right side shot. So we're kind of mixing pixels and taps here. The pixels I'm doing here are bolt shots down here. So you can see this little bolt is pretty easy to aim at. And then I'm going to add a glint. So it kind of does all of our standard strats this level all together. Also, you can see these really nice slides that these sort of build up for us.
Yep.
Very
and we're
good.
about to get a very... Oh, and that's a lucky purple there. Sorry.
Yes, there we're actually getting a free ball from points, by the way, which is something we haven't really discussed very much. But you can get a free ball if you get 25,000 points in a single shot. And you're going to see that kind of, big free ball. There we go.
Right
Just
there,
like
yeah.
that. Beautiful. Wow. Look at that timing.
This is very nice.
And when you get it. And the way that score works for individual shots in this game is that you get the score of all of your pegs that you hit. So each peg you're going to just get score, automatically, times the amount of pegs that you hit. And each peg score is going to be multiplied, but whatever the multiplier is, on the right side of the screen, which Poetry can explain.
Yeah, and real quick, I will explain the multiplier in a moment. Real quick, we are now onto the challenges at the end of the run. The any percent part of the run is done. And so now we simply have 2 challenges left, which are extra orange pegs. So normally there's 25 orange pegs on a level, and these ones have 35 and 45 respectively. And those actually do factor into the multiplier that Satan was mentioning, because to get the multiplier up, you have to clear out enough of the pegs, the orange pegs specifically. If you have only 3 orange pegs left or less, then you have the maxed out 10 times multiplier, and then there's different increments below that. But that's why a lot of times it's very good, even though for full clearing, which we were doing before, you generally want to leave enough of oranges left so that you're not going to accidentally get out of the early too quick with a normal win. But at the same time, you want to be clearing out these oranges early so that you get the multiplier up, so that it's more likely that you get balls back from just good shots.
Yeah, so it's kind of about that balance. How fast do you clear oranges versus how, how fast are you going to, how much are you going to risk that early full clear?
Yeah, safety versus speed is in a lot of cases is kind of how it comes down to, or what it comes down to.
Yeah, here I'm actually having to pivot openers. I was going to do L2, but Bjorn's power makes it so that that doesn't quite work. So I did a pixel instead. I got kind of an off pixel, but that's fine. That sort of like changing increments time, as I've said before, is what's relevant here. Also, this is the final level in the game. So time is coming up when when the ball goes off the screen for Fever here. And I hit continue.
Yeah, when we hit continue at the end, then we will say time, and it's pretty much.
So Kyle,
here.
if you have any time, this is it.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it. You got it. I've got $25 for BZ Archer, who says I always have to donate when Satan is running Peggle in honor of my fiance Catherine, and today I'm also donating in honor of her hometown of Canton, North Carolina. Thank you so much for that donation. It's appreciated.
Thank you.
It's very much appreciated.
Awesome.
And I've got $25 from Helios WX, who just says, I love Peggle Horse.
Thank you, Helios. Helios was supposed to be with us today, but he couldn't because of work. And that is time.
There we go. Yeah, this run blazed by pretty quick, and I think it's funny because I think normally you leave some room for mistakes, but yeah, it was a pretty much flawless run, I think so.
Yeah, it was pretty clean. What time did we get? 24:11? Nice. That's really good for a marathon run, actually. My PB is only about 2 minutes faster than that. Actually, a little bit less than 2 minutes. So that's pretty solid for this run. That's would have been a PB a little bit ago for me. So
yeah, this was
pretty happy with that. Not bad. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I've been Satan Herself, or Satan Isn't Herself on Twitch. I'm streaming this game a lot these days, so this is definitely something that you would see if you followed me on Twitch. Although I also play Peggle Knights, that's kind of my other main Peggle game, and Peggle Deluxe, and Peggle World of Warcraft, which, by the way, they didn't stop with just Valve crossover. There's an official World of Warcraft crossover as well that is also free to play. The world of Peggle is vast and beautiful. We're also coming out with a full game Peggle experience that some of us speedrunners have contributed to creating, like next week, called Peggle Fevers. So if you're interested in sort of like what a new Peggle 3, quote unquote, would look like these days as sort of sequel to Peggle Knights, definitely come join the Discord for information on that, and also for just generally running the game and talking to us. We would absolutely love to see new community members all the time. Also, this game is super manageable. It's a really short game. It's a really manageable 100% category. Highly recommend running it. It's got all sorts of great strats out there. Poetry, you got any shoutouts?
I mean, no, I think you covered it pretty well. There's a lot of us who do a lot of Peggle and stuff, and so I think I'm going to echo what Satan said. We just would love to see people, if you new people in the community, if you're interested in this. It's a fun time.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, Kyle, for being an incredible host. You're awesome. Thank you so much, GDQ, for having us. And huge shout outs to Direct Relief. It's amazing what GDQ is doing on such short notice to help people who are in need right now. So, thank you all.